Hey guys, Dylan Tommy here. It's time for a green room update. And what I'll do is kind of cruise every tank. We'll take it in slow for all of them. And I'll let you guys take a look exactly what's going on in each and every tank. Check out the transition from the Rotala to all these new plants. I get some decent growth on the baby tears. They're propagating, they're growing. And check out my crypts coming up. Very happy about those. Still slow growers, but with some decent reds. And the tank's looking really good. Everything over here is looking great. The Wigia and all the swords that we got. Everything's looking great. They've had their maintenance. And we're green. We're certainly green tonight, but let's just do a quick cruise. I'll kind of keep to myself, but we'll roll. We'll check out the inhabitants in their beautiful planet tank. Check out the albino crebensis. He's in his glory right now. He's still the king of this tank, and he runs it. He runs it. No breeding, but we still get all these little albinos in here. Let's take a good look at them. We haven't really seen them too much lately, especially as large as they are now. And I like to grow them out in this tank. I think they look great. The tank's really thriving. The fish are doing very well. Like I said, the parents stopped their breeding, but the fish are developing very nice. There he goes down. He's wondering what I'm doing here with the camera. They don't necessarily parent the fry, but if something's going on, they'll kind of observe me. You know, just like any fish would. Oop, there he goes. I'm gonna check out Mama before we go. I don't see her. She's not an albino, so she does a lot better at blending in with her natural colors. I quickly breeze by the shrimp tanks because they're growing out. One thing to mention is check out the red lily. It kind of came out of nowhere. Like I said, I thought there was a piece of a bulb or something back there, and I got 5 leaves on this red lily now, and we're just letting it grow out. We'll see how it does. Not much of a substrate in there either. I don't even think there's much left of any root tabs that I had put in there. But this tank has always been a reserve tank, kind of throwing everything in there and letting the shrimp do their thing. I noticed the moss that I had thrown in here is really taken off. Look at it. It's growing on a little bit everything. A little bit of BBA too. This tank is the tank that gets the least maintenance because it's really nothing's in here except for the plants I choose to kind of throw in there every now and then, just for the shrimp to kind of clean them off and have some debris to feed on. And we'll cruise the other shrimp tank, which has had a little bit more maintenance. I had trimmed a lot of the wisteria out of this tank and opened it up. You see that Rotala just reaching up for the light. It's because I cleared a lot of things out. That wisteria that's kind of growing amongst everything else. These two pieces of sage and all this Rotala in here has kind of been dominated by this wisteria plant that you can kind of see amongst everything. And I just clipped so many pieces off of it. I think I told you that. I had spread it out so much. Put pieces in Mojo's tank, and we will take another look at Mojo's tank. He looks great. Look at all this green wisteria. The tank is just bright. And I have a lot of cherry shrimp in here now. I wanted to give him some kind of colony, you know, some kind of inhabitants other than just himself. I mean, there were a couple larger snails in here, but I threw some shrimp in here, and we'll see how well they do to help maintain his tank. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's hiding out. I often see him, like I always did, in the moss, kind of hanging up in the branches of wisteria. I think that's cool behavior. And it seems he always wants to take off when it's camera time. That's alright. We're taking a look at your tank, Mo. In this tank, I told you I have the blue paradise fish in here. Really nothing's going on in this tank. I might add some plants to this tank and kind of spruce it up. Not too sure. It's a stable habitat for now. And the plants are growing. I have, you know, a lot of extra clippings of wisteria in here. And they'll likely grow out and we'll see what happens. But guppies! Look at the guppies! If you look at this tank kind of bottom to top, I chopped the rotala in half. All this rotala on this side was growing to the surface, and I just wanted to see the fish more, so I chopped it. And you can see I have all this moss growing amongst the rotala, and I dig it. Oh, there's Mom and Dad. These are the two fish that were initially introduced to the tank. I don't often get both of them in the same shot anymore because of all their progeny. They have so many offspring nowadays. Let's look at them. Let's look at the fish. Oh, there's Mom again. Where's everybody else? Like I said, I trimmed a lot of the rotala so I could, you know, see the new fry and see the new guppies in this tank, because this tank is really becoming a thriving guppy community, especially with this new male. I love him. I've shown him off so much, this red, white, and blue. I'm going to call him Superman. He looks so awesome. I hope he's fathering, you know, several more batches of fish because he looks great. Look at him. And a lot of these younger fry, I had mentioned are females. Like there's another little tiny female. Most of them are. Let's check them out. There's a female. There's one. There's one. Oh, there's a female. That's the mama. Here's another little male we can check out, a smaller one. His blue looks a little darker. It almost looks purple. But he's much smaller than that other one. He's got a little white in his dorsal fin too. I think that's cool. But these males are much prettier than their dad. Oh, look at that female back there. Ooh, she has some nice fringe on her tail. I'm telling you, the guppies are awesome. I can't wait to really take a good look at what kind of colors and variations are created from this guppy colony. Because they're just fun and they're beautiful too. Like I said, this male right here that I'm going to call Superman, he looks... You can see him from so far away and know that it's him. He's so distinct in the way he looks. Definitely all about the guppy tank lately. Oh my goodness. Look at him. He is definitely giving me a show right now. Thank you. Alright guys, I'm going to keep cruising. Like I said, digging the guppies. I could hang out over here forever. Look at that one back there. But I'll keep you updated. Hopefully we can take a look at a lot of them when they grow out. I notice many of them are hiding in this moss patch I have over here. It's such a cool habitat to kind of let them grow out, let them feed off anything, find security, and they're always in this. They're always in here. Let's see if I zoom into the moss, see if we see any fry. Oh, there's a female there. See the tiny ones here? Always hanging out in the moss. That looks like another female too. Alright guys, sorry, I'm falling for the guppies tonight. They're awesome, this tank is just rocking. Alright. I don't know, should we just breeze by the zebra Danios? Their tank's looking really good, it's stable. And they're growing out. If you guys remember, these were the first fry that I raised up from this batch of Danios that I have. Kind of moving things around and ended up with an empty tank that just had plants in it with a bunch of zebra Danio fry in them. So I raised them up, and this is what their tank became. It's pretty much been their habitat, their tank ever since. It's an old 10-gallon that I threw some plants in and stabilized the system and got some decent compact light on it. And the Danios are rocking. Like I said, the tank's stable. These swords are growing out nice, actually. The wisteria, I always throw it in there. It just helps stabilize the environment. I'll always use it in every tank. It does so well for me. Not too sure what to do with the Danios. Some of them are mutated because, you know, they grew up in this tank, and I'm not going to cull any of them just because they have deformed fins. Check out this guy. He's been with me from the beginning, of course, and he's still there. No one plucked him out saying, "No, you're not profitable." He lives free in my tank, as handicapped as he is. Alright guys, I know this is a long fish room update, but we'll keep going. This is the zebra Danio and the leopard longfin tank. And these fish are huge. I would love to turn these fish into, you know, a 55-gallon and just completely upgrade this tank, let the long fins grow out. This tank goes off a little later than the other tank, so I think we'll just hang out in here and check out the Brichardi and the Julia Chromis, all these Tanganyikans I have hanging out in this tank. This is one of the smaller Brichardi's here, and she's been growing out nicely in this tank. Beautiful streamlined look. I've told you guys in the past, I love layered tails, I love long fins. And the dominant Brichardi, who's been with me for, you know, over 2 years now, pretty much rules the tank. You guys know he's the boss. He had actually terrorized his past tank mates, and didn't think I was going to be able to keep him with any other fish. But these 5 other Tanganyikans he's living with, the 2 Brichardi and the 3 Julia Chromis, have been very peaceful in here. He seems to get along with them. I think that the other Nolampologus Brichardi that you often see with him is a female, and that they finally started to do some breeding, and that's why he's being so territorial here, and he's not leaving this side of the scape. You see that slate? It's kind of edged up against the side of the aquarium. It's become their breeding hole, their spawning cave. And like I said, incredibly territorial. I noticed that any of the snails in the tank, these guys down here, he'll pick up and he'll carry them very far. You know, he'll move them to some other part of the tank. And that's just preparing for, you know, a spawn. It's part of the behavior. You can see that these fish are getting ready to do something. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. I've always wanted to raise out some Nolampologus Brichardi. Haven't seen the female. Haven't even really seen him move from this spot in a day or so. So, oh, there she is. Oh, she's going right back in there. See, it's very suspicious activity, and like I said, I'm getting excited without digging in there and truly seeing what they're doing. But look at him. Look at those fins, man. He is awesome. You definitely look good for her, bro. Tell you, I wish I wouldn't focus on the tower and focus on him. Love the densely planted tank, but it's always been difficult to film some of the fish that likes to hide behind all the vegetation. But again, curious about the Brichardi's. Not sure what they're doing in this hole. Pretty sure they're spawning. Hopefully they're spawning. But we shall see. Just wanted to check this tank out tonight. Not many changes in the scape. Do a lot of trimming. The best thing about having tanks overgrown and letting them just grow wild and the way they want, is you can always do a big trim and kind of scape it the way you want, clean off debris on different plants, and, you know, take out anything you don't like and rescape the tank. It's always easy to remove plants than it is to add plants that you just don't have. So I like it. You know, I like to be able to just trim a bunch of Rotala or trim a bunch of pieces of wisteria, and either, you know, put them in new places in this tank or move them to other tanks. It's always worked out for me to keep, you know, these densely planted aquariums, both in, you know, the overall system and balance of the aquarium, and, you know, to spread plants around to keep multiple tanks and keep the biocycle and keep the ecology of a planted tank going with healthy plants. This tank is what it is. You've seen this tank with much larger pieces of wisteria. It's a very tall tank. And I've just trimmed them. I've taken them all down, kind of spread them out throughout. If you look down at the substrate, you see a lot more denseness down here on the substrate rather than plants growing tall into the water column like I had before. Most of the water column looks bare, where I previously had large growing wisteria. I had the Rotala floaters kind of draped across the surface of the tank. And with the big trim, took down a lot of stuff, spread out some wisteria, and it is what it is. I really dig being able to do that with the tank and let it reestablish and have it stable. I really wish I could take a good look at him, but he's not always happy to see me. These fish, they want their peace and quiet. They want to be left alone. They don't want cameras in their face. Like I said, I think he's defending that cave there. Alright guys, that's the Brochardi. I haven't really updated many of the tanks. The green room deserves an update. Those tanks are looking great inside that room. But tonight I thought I would just check out the Brochardi, since this is the tank that's still on. And like I said, suspicious behavior. And we're hopeful that they're doing what I think they're doing. You guys have a good one. Appreciate you hanging out. Nothing but love and respect to the entire Aquarist community. You guys keep tanking on. Peace.